Okay. It's 11 p.m. hour. Earlier today, I've done my review for Scream 3. I didn't think that it was going to be a good sequel, but anyways. Now we're going to move on to the fourth installment of Scream. I was going to do this earlier today and did Scream 3 yesterday, but regardless, I'm still going to do the movie review tonight at this time. Got Scream 3 out of the way. Now it's time to do Scream 4. It's the fourth installment. Let's take a look at what we got going on. Shall we? Yeah. It's over a decade later after many years of the Ghostface killer been making a path through the Woodsboro. Sidney Prescott is now a novelist. Well, actually, no. She wrote a book since those horrific events. Self-help one, in fact. And she's on her book tour. She returns to the Woodsboro as she reconnects with Gail and Dewey. But Ghostface comes back when she returns to Woodsboro, as Ghostface tries to put her in danger, especially the people who she loves as well, her loved ones. Scream 3. Didn't think I would enjoy that much. Ugh, man. Well, Scream 4 also features... Well, Dewey and Gail are now married, as we have Jill and her Aunt Kate appearing in this movie. And of course, Wes Craven. Let's talk about that guy. So this is actually the last movie that Wes Craven has appeared in the last movie he's directed, because he would die in 2015. But we have Courtney Cox, Neve Campbell, and David Arquette reappearing for the fourth film. Oh, yes. Nice to see them use every trick in the book to survive, of course. Now, Emma Roberts, who plays Jill Pearson here, we have Mary McDonnell, or Donnell, plays Aunt Kate. Hayden Panettiere, I don't know how to pronounce that last name. She appears in this movie as Kirby. She would later appear in a later installment. We also have Alison Brie, who plays Rebecca. We also have Roy Culkin, one of Macaulay Culkin's brothers, appearing in this. And Marley Shelton, who plays Deputy Hicks, reappears. And of course, you have Lucy Hale and Brody. Anthony Anderson will also appears here, and you got some other Kristen Bell, and Kevin Williamson doing the executive and being the producer and screenwriter for this film, also involving the Weinstein brothers. And this, thank God, the last time that we see executive producers that monster Harvey Weinstein business, because that guy is a piece of shit, if I'm being honest. Let's talk about Scream. Now, Scream 4. Okay. Now, Scream 4 is actually it's kind of an improvement over the third installment. I liked it a little better. I liked it a little more than Scream 3, to be honest. But Scream 2 was a good sequel. Scream still is the best. I never thought that Scream 4 tried to attempt to replicate the success that Scream would originally had. Scream 4 also is the lowest grossing film of all 6. That's not a very good impact, a very good impression that Scream 4 contains, but replaces lacks the scares though, but and the kills, Hello, what's your favorite scary movie? I like Roger L. Jackson reprises bro as Ghostface on the phone when he's talking to you through the phone. Like the voice of Ghostface. It's pretty entertaining. Still, yeah. Scream 4 still is a little bit. Is still is, I would say is better than Scream 3, but what I consider it being as good as Scream 2, um, I still like Scream 2 a little more. The scene kind of a funny start because they try to avoid the getting killed again. They try to survive Ghostface. Scream 4 is a cut above, and I would not make it as the intended pun, like Lisa Kennedy said in her review. Surely you can find humor in the nice stuff. So the kills were kind of okay. Oh, still alright with them, but the kills in the first movie were pretty amazing. I mean, Scream 4 came out in the 2010s, and it's the only movie that came out in the decade because Wes Craven has proven that he can bounce back and offer a voice as entertainment. But ever since his debut, he's trying to get some movie. He tried to make some movies he inspired in the decade since. A good Scream movie just like the original. The first movie I can appreciate the most of the four that we've reviewed so far. Scream 4 does deliver some squares, but without consequences and murders, I do agree with some of the critics in here and not agree with some. But not letting go of the original stars though, that's they still brought them back. Because Scream 4. Sorry for young infant, it's over 60 minutes for the third film. But yeah. Wes Craven could not let go of the three original cast members, but you still had Emma Roberts and some other cast members, I like that Ghostface they still brought back. Ghostface will still, no matter who's playing no matter who's Ghostface. Okay, so it's not as long as Scream 3, in a way, but it's still 110 minutes. People should take the R-rating seriously. There's blood and gore, strong language, including multiple uses of the F word and the word shit, and one heavy tea drinking, flirting, but like the big issue is not sex, according to what this information is. The teen character spent a lot of time on Facebook. Is it Facebook that's being assaulted? Well, this is what the parental guidance is saying. This isn't showing the audience score by any means, but I think it's only mostly the critics who. But yeah, nice to see Courtney Cox appearing again. I know she appeared in Friends. I know she was still starring in the sitcom when I was reviewing the first three films, but this took place 7 years. This movie was released 7 years after the conclusion of Friends, because Friends ended in 2004. 7 years later, in 2011, Scream 4 came out. David Arquette played Stewie. It's kind of surprising to see that Gail and Dewey are now husband and wife. They still do what they know best. And they try to investigate what the kills were. Well, because Ghostface is one of the most iconic horror films out there. But to say the least, that the kills were not that bad. I mean, for Scream 4. But anyways, Scream 4 is if you say, okay, I'm gonna give Scream 4 a 3.5 out of 5. It is an improvement over Scream 3 for sure, but it's not very assuring for Scream 4 to be as well, to have a positive popcorn meter score like Scream, but it's just okay. It's still okay. Scream 4 is still a decent horror slasher movie. It's still an improvement over Scream 3, but it's still more of a decent. It's more decent than Scream 3, that's for sure. But anyways, I will be getting to review Scream 5 and Scream 6, which I believe personally are better sequels, because without Harvey Weinstein and Bob Weinstein, I thought the franchise gets a better reception. We saw more positive things happen when it comes to those two sequels. But I digress. Anyways, stay tuned for our review for Scream 5. I'll do it when I get to it. It will be published in the morning, and then I'll get to Scream 6 for sure. That is not too well. I'm gonna be watching it in high definition, so I'll get to review Scream 6 after I watch it on Blu-ray, which is right here. But anyways, thank you for watching this review for Scream 4, and I'll see you for the 5th chapter.